Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Neon. We're going to talk about the Vic Mignogna situation. Now, this is a situation that we dip into every once in a while. We are not a Vic Mignogna channel. I know we had some people accusing us of being a Vic Mignogna channel. We did watch the situation because it was very, very interesting to see this all play out and the effect it had on anime fandom. And that this particular situation, the Vic Mignogna situation, sort of drew a battle line between the old school pop culture sites, anime news sites, and YouTubers. And there was a lot of shenanigans going on, a lot of things coming out, and you know, there are two sides to every story. So that being said, we've tried to stay mostly neutral in this situation. We haven't really talked about it too much. I think literally we've done like 2 Vic videos in maybe 3 months because there hasn't been a lot of news until there is. So Vic Mignogna had his final claims dismissed. They went to mediation, and I'm going to try to follow this. Again, we don't follow this very closely. I get the basics of what's going on. I kind of lost interest in the drama because that's really what it turned into. It turned into a circus on Twitter. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want to follow this. I'm not really doing this. There was a lot of stuff going on. You had a lot of people involved in the situation, constantly running at the mouth. He said, she said, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, it did go to court. Most of the charges were dropped immediately. And there were a couple things that they left hanging, and those were dropped. So basically, the judge dropped everything. All of Vic's, all of his complaints against Funimation and some of the voice actors at Funimation. You know, the allegations that they were gossiping and damaging his career, his brand, and his potential retirement, I guess, because it's like, you know, at this point, it just seemed like he was very much done. He was dropped from Rooster Teeth. He was dropped from Funimation. You know, a lot of conventions dropped him, and for voice actors, convention revenue is pretty significant. It's a pretty significant part of their income. So now he's appealing, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I am not a lawyer, so bear with me. I understand the basics, but I'm not going to do a deep dive into this, just kind of give you an update. So before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on CLOWNFISH TV. I think we're about 70,000 subs. We're hoping for 100,000 pretty soon. Want to keep giving you pop culture news and views, or hot takes on things. We just talk about the, you know, the anime industry, the animation industry. We worked in and around the anime community for years. We went to multiple anime conventions as comics guests. We know some of the people involved in this situation, or we've at least met them. And, you know, it's just sad to see the community torn apart the way that it has been torn apart. And there is plenty of blame to go around, in my opinion. So here we go. Vic Mignogna files to begin appeal process against dismissal of defamation lawsuit. Yeah, it was dismissed. Let's go out to the very opinionated Dallas News. Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna loses big as judge drops final claims that Dallas area studio and colleagues defamed him. Tarrant County judge's actions came after mediation efforts this week failed to get a resolution. This was a couple weeks ago. To get a resolution in clash that began with allegations of stars' inappropriate behavior. Again, a lot of allegations, haven't seen a lot of concrete proof. That's kind of where we're at with this, where we don't like to dismiss anyone's story, but if you're going to have stories, you need to show some proof. And you know, just armchair opinion, I haven't seen a lot of proof. In fact, I've kind of seen like anti-proof. I've seen some of the media outlets that were you know, trying to stir the pot, basically use fabricated evidence, misuse photos, etc., etc. And, you know, a lot of it just seemed like an attempt to stir up a major shitstorm to get this guy evicted from the industry. Which, again, if you've got proof that he's the kind of person you said he is, and you can, you know, show it to everybody, then for all, you know, do it. Then do it and shut people up. But I didn't see any real tangible evidence, you know, And it just seemed like anymore that you can gossip about anyone and get them fired from any job anywhere. We're seeing more and more of this. And again, I am not talking about legitimately toxic people. Legitimately toxic people need to be ejected, from their positions so they don't hurt anybody. But it does seem more and more that just the slightest whiff of allegation is enough to completely destroy somebody forever. And we've seen some cases where it didn't stick and the damage was already done. So they're talking about how the judge dismissed the remaining claims in the defamation lawsuit the Dragon Ball star Mignogna filed in April against his former employer, 2 of his Dallas area colleagues, and the fiance of one of the women. So the judge's action came after mediation efforts failed to get a resolution. So this latest order is unlikely to tamp down the nasty firefight that has raged on social media between the hashtag #KickVic and hashtag I Stand With Vic camps split in the anime community over who are the villains and who are the victims has only sharpened with each development in the case. That's true. The anime fandom is split. It's hurt. It's damaged. It's damaged, and there's plenty of blame to go around. This is not a situation that's going to be remedied anytime soon, and I think it's going to have financial repercussions for Funimation. I do, because I think a lot of people are going to think twice about giving Funimation money at this point because they feel so passionate about Vic Mignogna. So they just kind of go to recap, how this happened in January, February, how we got involved. All we did was just comment on the situation. We had Anime News Network, one of their editors, call us Yahtzees with an N. And I was actually in the Caribbean at the time, and I couldn't really answer, but I'm like, what the actual F do you even watch these videos? And the short answer is no. They do not. I don't think these people watch videos. I think they are, they look at thumbnails, they make decisions based on those thumbnails, and then they go out to Twitter and try to get people canceled. That is my opinion, but it didn't work very well. So we just looked into it a little bit more because of it. So thank you for that, Anime News Network. But anyway, Vic Mignogna files to begin appeals process. So Mignogna's appeal was first hinted at by attorney and YouTube host Nick Rekieta, who stated that Mignogna was going to appeal every single dismissed cause of action. Mignogna's appeal has now been confirmed with an October 24th filing, stating that Mignogna will appeal the decision to the Texas 2nd District Court of Appeals. Here it is. This is a thing. This is happening. Additionally, a hearing for Funimation, Marchi, Rial, and Toei to request sanctions and attorney's fees has been set for November 21st. The request will be heard before Judge John P. Chupp, the Tarrant County judge who previously ruled to dismiss all of Mignogna's causes of action. Upon receiving news that Mignogna had filed to appeal, the attorney representing Rial and Toei penned a letter to Judge Chupp accusing the appeal of being legally improper and noted his intent to file a motion to dismiss as soon as the clerk issues a cause number. Rekieta reads the letter below. Their attorney accused the filing of impropriety due to it being filed before a final judgment had been made on said sanctions and attorney fees. They also request that the court enter an order on defendants' omnibus objections to plaintiffs' TCPA evidence. I am not a lawyer, so I'm just gonna read this, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm reading. And that the court strike the second amended petition in its entirety due to his belief that plaintiff will undoubtedly attempt to rely on the second amended petition on appeal. Basically, this is going to go on for a very, very long time. I think is what we're getting at. In the interim, what happens to the anime community? In the interim, what happens? I don't know. It's definitely broken. It's definitely damaged. And like I said, there's plenty of blame to go around. And, I don't know if Funimation is distancing themselves from this. If I were Funimation, I would completely distance myself from this and from the people who helped throw kerosene on the fire. And I would just be like, yeah, I don't even want to, we don't even want to go there. We don't even want to go there. But that's me. That's how I would handle it. I think the general public, to be honest, is probably going to, unless more concrete evidence comes out against Vic Mignogna. I think the general public is probably just going to forget about this in about 6 months. I really do. I think they're going to be like, oh yeah, Vic Mignogna, wasn't he? What was the Dragon Ball guy? Something lawsuit. Don't remember. Hey, shiny, look, what's that? You know? And yeah, that's how I think things are going to go down. I think if nothing else comes out of this definitely has changed the anime community, the tone that will be set at anime conventions going forward. Because anime conventions, that we said before, they're very much like almost like a frat party, you know, like a very nerdy frat party. And yeah, there's some shenanigans that go on. Again, I can't say whether or not Vic Mignogna has participated in said shenanigans, but if he's guilty, then a lot of people are guilty too. Because I've seen a lot of inappropriate touching and hugging, a lot of, you know, just horseplay. Some of it I personally thought crossed the line, but I'm like, well, if everybody's okay with it, I guess it's all right, you know? I don't know. There's a lot of that goes on at anime conventions. So I think we're going to see anime conventions definitely change in tone going forward because of this. I think voice actors are probably going to be a little more careful, all of them, going forward, or they should be, because look what can happen. You know, if your actions, even if they're benign, are taken as being malicious, you could be out of a job, even if it's not, you know, this year. It could be 5 years, 10 years from now. Somebody says, hey, look, that picture you took with that 12-year-old, that's coming back to haunt you now, isn't it? You know, so I think there's that. I think the companies, you know, Funimation and, you know, the other anime companies, you know, Viz and et cetera, are probably going to be a little more careful in who they hire. You know, so there's definitely going to be a big change. I mean, regardless of how this plays out, you know, the anime community, the anime industry is going to forever be changed by this. And, you know, I don't know if it's for the better. I think it's going to be a lot more corporate, a lot more cold, you know, because of this, because everybody's going to be afraid of there being another incident like this. You know, and as far as financials, you know, I don't know if there's going to be any repercussions against Funimation. You know, a lot of people talk boycott. You know, are their financials going to be down? I don't know. We will see. But I'm going to wrap this one up. Again, I am not a lawyer. I do not have much to comment on. I just know this is going to be a very long, drawn-out process. This is not the channel to watch if you're looking for a blow-by-blow. But, you know, we have been keeping tabs on this, so I thought the right thing to do would be to give some kind of a follow-up to where things are currently. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon, and we will talk later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.